Hello friend, my name's Doombabe, and this is my channel. So today we are playing a new game. I felt that the channel was getting a little stale, so I thought Mondays will be KOTOR, Fridays will be Don't Take It Personally Babe, it just ain't your story. I have never played this game before. I have read a couple reviews on it. All I know is that it's an indie game and it was made by a chick. So let's get to it. These are, of course, some mistakes that you can see coming from miles ahead. Mistakes that you should have known better than to make. There are mistakes where you realize as you go along that things are just getting worse. I've made a lot of those mistakes in my life. But then there are also mistakes that you can never see coming. You just have to leap in head first, and all you can do is hope it's not one of those. Hope that your decision doesn't turn out to be a mistake. And it's on that high note that I start my first day of school. Oh, that music is loud. Yes, I'm nervous, and I don't think there's much shame in that. The classroom is full by the time I arrive. Wow, the music is so loud! The classroom is full by the time I arrive. I stare at the sea of unfamiliar faces, their eyes piercing me as they stare back. And I look at all those uniforms. It's outright intimidating. Now isn't the time to be scared of 11th graders, though. I take a deep breath and introduce myself to the class. What popped up? Ariana sent me a message. Oh my god, is that our new homeroom teacher? So hot. Congratulations, you've got a brand new rebranded tablet. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. Mr. Rook, if you're reading this, you obviously have your computer set up. You should note that in addition to your own personal things, as part of our ongoing trial with giving students their own computers, you will be able to access all of your students' social networking messages sent across our Amy Connect. That is really creepy! Most teachers have found this to be an extremely effective way to monitoring online bullying. Pragmatically, it's impossible to stop students from chatting in class, but you can at least be on top of it. There would be serious repercussions if the students ever found out, though, so please be discreet. Let me just welcome you again to Lake City Academy. You seem to be a fine, excellent teacher, and I am sure... Well, wow. That is really creepy! I can read my students' text messages! Good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Rook, and starting today, I'll be taking over as your homeroom teacher. A month into the year, apparently their proper teacher became seriously sick and is on an extended leave. Wow, I didn't know teachers could look like that. He'll do? I'm really looking forward to spending the year with you guys. First, I'm going to take attendance so I have some idea who you all are. After that, I'll tell you a bit about myself and then we can get started. Helpfully enough, the class list is available on my computer, and the glowing mail icon tells me that I have unread messages, which I can read anytime and probably should soon. Well, here goes. Sorry in advance if I pronounce any of these wrong. Ariana Balasai? Hi there. Oh, just here. Alright. That's a cute name. Kendall Flowers? Sup, sir? Good. Taylor Gibson? I'm here. So you are. Next. Sorry, Charlotte Gruel? Is that right? Yes, that's right. Present. Just checking. How about Isabella Hart? Nobody says anything, or at least not that I can hear, but a girl near the back of the class waves. Okay, Isabella's at the back. Nolan Striukas? No answer. Nolan? Is Nolan here? Oh, of course, that's your kind of man, Taylor. Someone taps on the shoulder of one of the boys strongly. Nolan, say something. It's attendance. Oh, here. Alright, and Akira Yamazaki? Here. Why are you wearing such bright green sleeves, Akira? That's gaudy. Oh, wow, nice colors there. I realize the school's uniform policy is really more like a suggestion, but wow. Alright, great. I go through the entire class list and it looks like everyone is here after all. Now I just have to start remembering the faces. We named off like 10 people and there are like fucking 50 chairs in here. An introduction is in order though, this'll be interesting. I am the world's biggest fuck up. I've managed to screw up a whole 2 marriages and become a teacher because of a bizarre midlife crisis. I'm looking forward to working with you all. It's probably not what I should say. No, probably not. This will actually be my first full-time teaching job. I studied English literature in my university, but I've spent the past 15 years working in computers, which I hope should serve as a warning to anyone who plans to go into computers. It is bleak, boring work, but here I am now. I am not a hard ass, and I never liked teachers who were when I was your age. If for any reason whatsoever you're having trouble, I hope he's not one of those teachers. Like, I like teachers who are friendly, but the ones that try to be your friend, that's just uncomfortable. Whether it is academically with your fellow students or really anything, talk to me. I am flexible, and that is what I'm here for. I think I like our new homeroom teacher. He seems like he'll be nice. Why, thank you. I think that's everyone's kind of man. Listen to that. He's totally Tex-Mex. Do people still say that? I've been out of high school for a while, but I've never actually heard anyone say that since like the era of MySpace. I'm in my office most days after school, so just ask, no matter what it is about, even if it seems trivial. Yeah, I'm not going to be one of those assholes that I had for teachers in high school, that's for sure. Regardless, I am looking forward to working with you all. I look over the class and I can tell that they look vaguely impressed. I didn't expect anything more. Well, now it's time to get started on the boring things like going over the syllabus. The next day. Okay, as I explained yesterday, today we are going to be starting our unit on Pulp Fiction with the novel Chainmail. Can I see a show of hands for people or for everyone who actually did the homework last night? Every hand in the room goes up. I would hope so. It was only 40 very short pages. Alright, so what are your initial impressions of the premise? Obviously, this is a novel that is fundamentally about an early era of internet culture. What do you think, or do you think it seems relatable or unrelatable? So can someone explain to me what exactly is up with the lesbians this week? All I see is a bunch of status updates and a whole lot of drama. What's different now? Silence all around. Just your general thoughts. There's no right or wrong answer here. Anyone? After a bit of hesitation, the hand of the girl with pigtails and glasses goes up. It takes me a moment to remember her name. Charlotte. Who should I call in to answer? The one actually paying attention. As much as I am tempted to pick on Taylor for not paying attention in class, I decide the better of it. I'd be a jerk if I did. Yes, Charlotte? Well, it seems like it's all really disconnected, isn't it? Everything's all about emails and one private website. That's very surprising. What about that struck you as surprising? Specifically, how the girl wasn't able to reach out to anyone because she didn't know anyone's email addresses. It feels very disconnected and lonely. It wouldn't make much sense to have a story like that now. She could have just posted it on her classmates' walls. Interesting. So, would you say that it's inherently more lonely because of the technology? I don't know. Maybe? That's okay. You can sit down now. That's a good seg, though. You've touched on some important themes. I move on and carry on with the lecture as intended. A couple people seem engaged, at least. The reluctance leaves me feeling worried, though. Taylor, don't be a bitch. Yeah, don't be a bitch, Taylor. Is it going to be really that hard to engage them? I thought my choice in reading material would help, at least. I deeply worry that I'm not cut out for this. Lunch hour. Oh. The class files out impatiently the instant the lunch bell rings. Hey, can I ask you a sort of weird question? PLZ, no. I have seen enough weird dating sim games to know where that might be going. I lean over to get out my packaged lunch, and when I sit back up, I see a set of students waiting. Not everyone is in a rush, it looks. Excuse me, Mr. Rook. How can I help you? Do you mind if we eat our lunches in here? It's what we used to do with our old homeroom teacher. Not in the cafeteria? Lol. Yeah. Right. Sorry, sir, but have you seen the cafeteria? It's a miserable hole. Hideous. So noisy you can't even hear yourself think. It's really bad. My high school cafeteria was like that a lot too. I actually would not eat lunch because I did well enough in school to where I actually was able to leave school at around noon. So I wouldn't eat lunch at school. I would just sit in the library because it was a hellhole. And I went to like a kind of a ghetto school. It's just incredibly unpleasant. If it's a problem, we'll understand. But no, not at all. Of course you can. I just never thought of it. Thank you. Thanks. Not at all. Just don't make a mess and it won't bother me one bit. I go back to my lunch and all three of them take seats near each other. I could conceivably try to avoid listening on their conversation, but it'd be a challenge. So level with me, Charlotte. Don't. No, for reals. I'm serious. Oh my god, don't bring it up. Come on, Kendall is my bro. I would like to know what's going on with her. I'm sure she doesn't. It's fine, Bella. Why does everyone assume that just because we fight means I don't ever want to speak of her ever again? She's still my friend. Easy, bro. It's cool. You don't gotta be a white knight on my part. Taylor, it's pretty simple. We broke up. End of story. Oh, that is sad. It's always kind of hard to find a good same-sex relationship because usually it ends in like people are bullied apart or their family split them up or even just it turns out to be a phase, all three of which have happened to me. And so it always makes me a little sad when I see same-sex couples break up. So, why are you avoiding her? We just need some time apart right now, that's all. There's no drama, it's over with. Well, don't tell Taylor that. Why? How is it any of her business? Lol. Do you really think it matters to her? It's Taylor. She's been trying to rattle the hornet's nest on Amy. Have you ever been in love? You're right. This is a weird question. Hi! You're a bitch. But yes, I have. I don't know if I'm the best person to talk about that, though. It's never worked out for me. Did I tell you about that? Anywho, why do you ask? Well, let me tell you from first-hand knowledge. I don't think it's going to work, which is good because Kendall, when she's upset, it's not a fate I'd wish even on Taylor. Ha 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 ha, lol, fair enough. I mostly try to avoid looking up at any of the three students. I feel like an awkward interloper. I'd forgotten how ridiculous high school drama could be. Will they be like this for the whole year? Probably, now that I think of it. It's just been a long time. And it all seemed so reasonable when I was their age. I'll probably have to keep my eye on Taylor. I'm sorry, I just assumed that something was wrong given what I've been hearing. Are you two alright? Lol, yes. And also on whatever is going on between those two girls. Yeah, I'll keep my eye on them. Mr. Rook? Oh, yes? How are you finding it so far? Our school, I mean, not too disappointing, I hope. It's going to take some time to get used to be truthful. Have you all been here since grade 9? Yes, I have, but I understand. The two of us make small talk for a bit about first days of school and the such. You guys are chatty as fuck today. I just saw your response to Taylor. Nice! You're pretty much untrollable. I don't know why she thought you'd be a good target. I don't understand what's wrong with those two lesbios. Lesbios? I just expressed some concern and Kendall flips the hell out on me. She doesn't have to be such a bitch. Yes. What's that supposed to mean? It's just that I heard you two were seriously fighting. That's a big thing. Cool story, sis. Pro tip, we're not. The end. That's all I gotta say. No, not exactly. It's a long story, really. Well, please don't make me read it. You're very, very dry. The other two don't seem to say anything. Whether it's shyness or because they're too busy sending messages to other students, I can't tell. It might be both. I had no idea. Do you want to talk about it? If not, I understand, of course. I don't care anymore. Eventually, they all leave at the end of lunch break for their other classes. I don't know what to make of any of what they're talking about at all. That night. It's my second day on the job, and I don't know what to think of all of this. Oh my god, they're such chatty fucks. I'd be happy to talk about it, but it's a long story. Not a very interesting one, but a long one. I can see that, because you're not a very interesting person, Isabella. If you really care, we can talk about it some other time if you want, but now's not the best time. What's up with you, though? I'm sure you have a reason for asking. Come on, I know you. Who do you want advice about? You know me too well. Well, it's kind of embarrassing, really. It's just that I have the biggest crush on this guy. Like, for serious. I really feel like I need to just follow my heart and make a move, even though I barely know him. Does that sound crazy to you? OMG, you don't mean who I think you mean, do you? Don't laugh. But yes, I'm pretty sure I do. It sucks, you know. It sucks, but you know, it's Kendall. She's always like this. You really shouldn't have expected her to do anything but flip out on you. It's what she does. I wasn't the target, it was Charlotte, and it's probably going to work. She'll probably say everything's cool, but it'll crush her inside. What a bitch. It's not really as simple as saying, lol, you mad, and then letting her go fuck off. It's going to hurt Charlotte. Trying to shut her down is basically all I can do. Raging pretty hard, but what else can I do? Sad face. I already don't like you, Kendall. I turn to what I can do, which is reviewing my lecture notes for tomorrow. It's probably my own fault for not being engaging enough. I'll have to try to do better. That's all I can do. The next morning. Having nothing better to do, I stick around in the classroom even before the school day has technically begun. Lol, sorry, it's just kind of funny. But don't worry about it. I think you're absolutely right. And there is no question the dude is hot. And he does seem smart. If you're into him, I think you totally should. What's the worst that could happen? You get shot down? Come on, you're a cute girl. He's an older... We're just gonna back right out of that. I'm reminded of when I was in high school. I was usually the first one in the room then, too. I guess not much has changed since then. It doesn't take long before the first student comes in, and I'm not surprised when I see who it is. Good morning, Mr. Rook. Of course it would be her, wouldn't it? Hi, Charlotte. I guess the thing to do would be make small talk. That made no sense. I can't talk. Lovely weather today, isn't it? For now, I guess. It's supposed to rain later, though. Didn't you know? Oh, shoot. No, I didn't realize. Should have checked the weather report. Yeah. Well, how did you get here? I walk. Well, maybe it'll stop by the time I have to leave. Better hope so. While I'm mentally kicking myself for not checking before I left, another girl walks in. Hi. Sup? She barely even looks up and definitely isn't expecting an answer. She just disappears into her desk, not making eye contact with even Charlotte, and stares at her computer. I keep chatting with Charlotte, and eventually the rest of the class starts to file in. You're totally right. I am going to do this then. I am going to dress up super nice, and I'm going to make an excuse for talking about the book, and then I'm going to confess how I really feel. We've known each other for 1 day. God, high school students are so weird. Later. Another thing that is used to great effect is the story within a story. You might even argue it's metafictional. That is, it's a story about stories. What do you think? Do the details of the story being told by the four girls matter? Or is it just there as a filler detail? I look around and raising her hand is Ariana? Oh, I think I know why my mind instantly goes to the wrong place. I'm not comfortable with this crush of hers at all. Not that I can acknowledge it in any way. What can I say anyways? Go ahead, Ariana. I think the details are extremely important. They reflect on the story as a whole, so you could, learn what's really going on from them. Good, that's valid. And also, they're important because they're written by the characters. You can learn a lot about someone from how they write. Yes, that's also very good. Do you have any examples? And she just goes on, completely dominating the class discussion. But it's clear she's engaged in the material at least, so I can hardly shut her down. I'm glad she's taking it seriously at least. Eventually, the lunch bell rings and the class starts to file out, in a hurry as ever. Staying behind is the same group as yesterday. No, not quite the same group as yesterday. Excuse me, Mr. Rook? Yeah? I'll try to start doing voices. I'm not going to do voices. I have to go by lunch now, but you know how you said you're always available to talk, right? Oh, shit. Yeah, what's up? Could I stop by after class to talk about the book we're doing? There's some things I still don't think I get, so I'd like to go over them more. Yeah, I highly doubt that's really why. She seemed to understand the book pretty well. But I can't exactly say no, can I? I did promise. Sure, of course you can. Come around 4 and we'll talk about what's giving you trouble. Thanks, Mr. Rook. I'm looking forward to it. Meanwhile, the other 3 are chatting away just like before. I'm just left on my own to worry about how I'm going to deal with Ariana. You look great. I love the dress. Blue is the perfect for you. Knock 'em dead. Maybe it'll just go away. She'll get over it. Yeah, of course, that's it. Schoolgirl crushes are always fleeting. So how are things going with you two? Good. Oh, well, 3:55 p.m. That's it for the day. Well, as far as classes go anyways. Sure enough, Charlotte was right. By the end of the day, it started to rain. Hi, Mr. Rook. Hi, Ariana. Why don't you have a seat and we'll talk about what you were having trouble with? She sits down, crossing her skinny legs with exaggerated emotion. It's a pretense, of course. I know it. She definitely knows it, and I feel deeply uncomfortable going along with this. We, of course, do discuss the novel, as she requested it, and she does ask the right questions. But it's obvious that's not why she's here. Even if she hadn't mentioned it to Isabella, I would have noticed, for sure. It's not just the way that she's trying too hard to care about the book or the length of her dress. Every time she asks a question, she leans forward, fiddling with the end of her hair with her long fingers. I notice, of course. Every time she's waiting for an answer, she puts her hands on her knees, and with a smile, she rubs one of her bare, smooth legs against the other. I notice, of course. Every time I speak, she just stares a little too deeply back with those dark, young eyes. I notice, of course. Despite it having never happened once in my life before, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind she is trying to seduce me. I have to wrap this up. I have to end this now, and I definitely have to get out of here now. I move, getting ready to stand up, and she just follows my lead. Okay, well, it's starting to get late. Do you have any other questions about the book? No, I think that's all for now. I definitely do have a better understanding now. Thanks so much for the help, Mr. Rook. Oh, it's nothing. I'm glad to help. I mean it. I really want you to know you seem like a great teacher, and I appreciate that a lot. I really like you. Oh, damn it. Here it comes. Can I get out before she manages to clarify that into a confession? Ah, well, I'm glad. Anyway, I should get going. It was good to talk to you. I get up and I get all the way to the doorway. Could it be that I can avoid without it getting awkward? Likewise. I just have to say goodbye and I'm gone. Problem solved. Just have to say, Mr. Rook, aren't you going to take your umbrella or did he not bring one? Aw, shit. She's good. She's got me. I know exactly what she's going to say if I tell the truth. What should I do? She's gonna know that I'm lying, but this is way too forward. Yeah, I do. Anyways, I should, Mr. Rook, why are you lying to me? I was just trying to be polite. I know you didn't. Ah, shit. Fine. Sorry, you're right. I wasn't thinking. I don't. That's okay. Why don't we walk together then? We can share mine. And there it is. I don't. Come on, you don't want to be caught out in that storm, do you? You'd get soaked and probably get sick for sure. Really, it wouldn't be a problem. Rationally, I know better. Rationally, I know I plan to shut her advances down to be the mature adult and just not even give her a chance. Rationally, I know that you can't get sick from being out in the rain, and rationally, I know that following along with her plan would be irresponsible of me. Rationally, I know it's wrong to find out how she's managed to catch me so perfectly off guard, charming in any way. Rationally, I know that I shouldn't find that smile she's giving, the one that she says she knows. I'm going to say yes, so adorable. Rationally, I know I should say no. So you actually live around this neighborhood? Like, within walking distance? I figured we'd just be walking to the subway. I guess it turns out I'm not as good at acting rationally as I'd like. Yeah, just a few blocks away, actually. Oh, well, have you been here long? Only a week, actually. I only moved into the neighborhood once I got the job here. Oh, I see. So, do you live alone? Come on, don't ask that. Yeah, for several years now. I leave that hanging as a reminder of how old I am. I've been divorced, kid, twice. With any luck, she'll pick up on that. Oh, well, that must be nice, having things all to yourself. As she says that, she moves in even closer than she was before, so I can feel her arm pressing against mine. So much for having any luck. Well, it's not always so bad. That's not honest at all. It's a lie. The biggest lie. I hate living on my own. It's lonely. It's soul crushing. It's terrible. It's always so bad. I'll bet. And that's when I make my mistake. I look back down at her. I make eye contact and she responds with the biggest grin. She's happy right now. She's so happy. I can tell. And all I can think as I look at that poor kid is that I know the only thing she's thinking of right now is me. It's one hell of a thought. I look away and we keep walking down the street, but it's too late. I've humored her. I've gone along with her, and I've practically acknowledged to her right now. She just babbles away happily, and I realize there isn't going to be an easy way out. This crutch of hers isn't something that I can ignore and it'll go away. After what feels like the longest walk home ever, finally we arrive at my building. This is me. Thanks for the umbrella. I have to do something, and it has to be now. Okay, it's not a problem at all, though. I really enjoyed talking with you a lot. Well, actually, there's something I'd like to tell you. All around us, rain pours heavily. My stomach sinks. And then she takes my hand in her own, squeezing with those delicate fingers of her. Despite the rain, they're still so soft to the touch. She smiles sweetly at me, getting ready to confess to me, and I realize with horror, as that girl prepares with her short dress, with her surprisingly deep eyes, with her unsubtle flirting, with her delicate grip, with all those things standing right in front of me, I realize, in spite of myself, I'm becoming just a bit hard. I have to do something now before she says anything. Pull her hand off. I have to get control of myself. I can't afford to be thinking with my dick here. I've already gone along with this for far too long. I pull her hand from mine. Please stop there, Aaron. I just want to tell you, I know what you wanted to tell me. It's obvious, Ariana. I'm flattered, really, but please, just don't say it, okay? What? She looks shocked, as if her intentions aren't obvious, and she seems to be lost for words. It wouldn't be appropriate, Ariana. In fact, this is already completely inappropriate. I shouldn't be walking students home back to my apartment. Do you know how bad this looks? I promise I won't tell anyone, Mr. Rook. I really like you. I'm sorry. I truly am sorry. But I know what you want, and this is the worst rejection I've ever given in my life. This is the worst. I am babbling. She is babbling, and there is no way this won't end in crushed feelings. I'm your teacher, Ariana. You're a cute girl who obviously knows how to use her charms. You shouldn't be chasing guys over twice your age. You can do better. Oh my god, what the fuck am I even saying? This isn't a rejection. It's just playing hard to get. What is wrong with me? No, I couldn't. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're hot, you're smart, and you're modest. Of course I like you. There's nothing wrong with that. I can't do this gently. I am apparently incapable of doing this gently without coming across like an absolute retard. I guess I'll just have to be a jerk. Stop, please. Just stop. Ariana, you're embarrassing yourself and you're embarrassing me. You're too young. It wouldn't be right. And frankly, I would feel disgusted with myself if I said yes. Do you understand? She stares at me, and in that moment, it finally seems to go through her. Whatever she wants from me, it's never going to happen. It can't. I thought, I'm sorry, Ariana, please go home. Fine, forget it. Forget I said anything. She runs off, disappearing into the rain, probably crying even harder. I go inside my apartment and resist the urge to just repeatedly slam my head into the wall until I stop feeling so bad about what I said. What a truly deeply awful thing to say to someone. I sit on the edge of my bed, and all I can do is wonder, where did I go wrong? How did it turn out this way? Poor kid, all she had was a harmless schoolgirl crush, and the guts to follow through on it. She sure didn't deserve to have some old teacher flip out on her like that. I sigh. I mean, she'll get over it. Schoolgirl crushes are always fleeting, of course. But still, the poor kid. The next day. It's absolutely beautiful out, but I checked the weather report before heading out this morning all the same. This time, it's not Charlotte who's the first to come in, it's her. I grimace, praying she doesn't make things more awkward than they already are. Let's check the messages. Can someone remind me why we're reading this piece of shit for English class? It's awful. Wow, you're actually bothering? Lol. Why? I don't know. So, how'd it go? Come on, you have to let me know. It didn't go so well. Excuse me, Mr. Rook? I sigh. Yeah. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. I was way out of line before. I really should have kept it together. That was really immature of me. Oh, good. Can you forgive me? I sigh again. Of course I can. I just want to forget the whole affair ever happened to begin with. Of course, let's just pretend it never happened, okay? Start with a fresh slate. All right. Thanks. After that, she goes to take her seat. And it doesn't take too long for Charlotte to arrive. Shot down. I really didn't go over so well. I guess I'm just not very good with men. God, I hate myself. I've never been so humiliated in my life. I knew there was a chance it would go wrong, but I didn't know it would hurt so much. I kind of cried myself to sleep. I think I was too direct with him. I guess I just need to work on my subtlety. Yeah, you're crazy. Hi. Good morning, Mr. Rook. I hope your walk home yesterday wasn't too bad. Not so much. I'm never skipping checking the weather before I leave again. That's too bad. A good plan, though. We continue to make idle chit-chat as the class slowly files in. After the night I had yesterday, I'm not particularly in any hurry to get started. Today's lecture is going to be at a leisurely pace. So, as you've probably figured out, this is the part of the story where you get the hint that things are going to start getting really weird. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I understand perfectly. Believe me, that really sucks. You can always move on to others, though, right? From here on out, you're going to discover that things are a lot more complicated than they might seem. I pause for effect. So, what do you think of the use of foreshadowing in the chapter you read last night? How does it differ from the start of the novel? After a couple seconds, a single hand goes up. I can't say I'm terribly surprised. Disappointed in the rest, maybe, but I'm not surprised that it's not Ariana. Are you kidding me? No, I am not giving up that easily. What I realized last night was that I wouldn't have been so upset if it wasn't really love, but it hurts so badly it has to be. That's fine. If I'm not good enough for him, then I'm just going to have to try harder. Oh my god. Go ahead, Charlotte. Well, it indicates that we're going to see a sudden shift of tone, I think. The biggest thing I noticed was, and so she goes on. I don't feel like reading this. Good luck. Alright. End of chapter 1. So what does it mean to be a gentleman? Is it really an outdated concept, or is there really a perfect model for a man in particular to follow that's still relevant to our times? Doesn't matter. And is that truly a good thing? According to L.J. Powell, before you can ask that question, you first have to ask one simple question. What does it mean to be a gentleman? I'll jump into what Powell thinks in a minute, but first, what do you think it means? Just the first thing that comes to mind. The class pauses for longer than I'd like, given that I just threw them the easiest question imaginable. And predictably, the first hand to go up is Charlotte's. Go ahead, just tell me anything. This is a little bit obvious, but chivalry, as in holding the door open for a woman? Yes, it is a little bit obvious. Right, that's definitely one. How about, okay, Taylor. I'm definitely surprised to see her put up her hand. Knowing how to be respectful to a girl. For example, a gentleman wouldn't just treat a girl like crap because they've broken up. I stare at her. There's more than just a touch of bitterness to her voice. I wonder who she's really talking about. And thus we get into chapter 2. That is going to be it for this episode. I really am enjoying this game. I do enjoy my fair share of dating sims, but this is something where it's not really cheesy and weird like the other ones that I've played. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye! Hajime is a college-aged otaku and something of a NEET or shut-in. He makes his living off of blogging, but he really never learns